Hi, this is Matt Perosi with the JWAG coming to you from Bordeaux, France. I'm sitting here on a wonderful, wonderful sunny day, and in fact, it's a little bit too sunny, so I'm going to have to keep these on, otherwise I'm going to go blind as I bring you today's daily video golden nugget. Behind me up on a platform on top of those steps is Bordeaux's famous water mirror. Now what they have is about that much water, surface water that is up there, that it rises and falls every half hour or so, and a lot of people love to come here, splash through the water, play with their reflections, ride their bikes through it, and you get a lot of families and a lot of friends who come out and just hang out at this water mirror all year long. Today it's a little bit cool in the fall, so not many people are up there right now. This edition of the Video Golden Nugget is talking about how to merge your online and offline marketing with your USP. Now, the USP is something conceived of by Rosser Reeves, who was an American advertising executive from the 1950s who changed the way the world thought about advertising. He had a style of writing sales copy that drew people in and made them think about themselves rather than the products that they were selling. He's credited with many taglines that are still well known today, like, it melts in your mouth and not in your hands. His view of marketing was that you always need to state your unique selling proposition or your USP. And he coined that phrase, which so many online marketers are using today without really understanding where it came from and what it actually means. Reeves's philosophy was to state your USP over and over until people started to remember it. Now that ranking for keywords is dead, which, by the way, did you know that? Google Analytics now is hiding all keyword traffic from all of your reports. So you really can't rank for keywords anymore, so you have to figure out a better way to rank, perhaps for topics. So now that keyword ranking is a thing of the past, you may want to consider how you can apply your own USP to your online marketing and to your website. Of course, before you can even do that, you need to come up with that USP. Okay, I'll admit it's a little strange for you to try to figure out how a jewelry store should come up with a unique selling proposition, considering you have such a wide variety of goods and services, and coming up with something unique about what you do. I mean, how could you do that? A unique tagline that portrays your entire store. Truth is, you can't do it. In reality, you have to think about a USP that applies to every service you provide or every product line that you carry in your jewelry store. I know it sounds like a lot, so let's start with just talking about yourself. So, what are you good at? Seriously, what is your passion? I know that many jewelers are going to jump up and say, hey, custom engagement rings is my passion, and I know that that's really just because jewelers make a lot of money on custom engagement rings because the high margins are there. But think about it seriously for a moment. What about your job, your career, and what is the reason that you became a jeweler in the first place? What makes you the happiest every single day? Is it helping young adults discover jewelry? Is it seeing the smiles when somebody picks up their finished engagement ring? Is it helping people pick out the right beads to create a unique bracelet? I mean, how can you articulate what makes you happy about being a jeweler? Let's do an exercise together, and I'm going to help you figure out what your first USP is and how you can use it in your online and offline marketing. You're going to actually have to do this, so please don't just think about it as you watch this video. So, get a pencil and piece of paper and write down in as many words as it takes the single most important thing that makes you happy about being a jeweler. Actually do this. Go ahead, pause the video, get some pen and paper, take a moment to do it. Write down what makes you happiest about being a jeweler. Did you do that? Okay. Well, now that you've done that, how does what you wrote relate to your customers? When you feel that happy, how do you think your customers feel about that specific situation? All right, now next to how you feel that makes you happy, write down how you think your customers feel. You see, the customer's point of view is actually more important than yours. When you think about their point of view, you actually have to give some consideration to it and think of it for a while to figure out what is the best way to say it in the fewest words possible. Try to minimize the number of words that you use or the number of characters to get it down to about 140 or less, which is actually the size of a tweet. After you go through this process, of figuring out what makes you happiest and then trying to figure out how your customers feel, what you should end up with is something that could work as your unique selling proposition for that specific single service. And that USP gives you the most satisfaction about being a jeweler, and it relates to your customers. Now, please don't think that you can do this in a single setting. I know I said pause the video and try to do this right now, but truth is, that's just to get you started. You're going to have to find the right words over time, and it is more difficult than you think. So don't just do it by yourself. Try to talk it over with friends, try to talk it over with family, co-workers who work in the jewelry store with you. The whole process could take weeks just to come up with a good way to say your USP in as few characters or words as possible. Now, once you have it, that single USP would then be the focus for a full marketing campaign for offline ads and online ads, including your newspapers, your direct mail, your AdWords, your billboards, your emails, and the headlines on your website. But don't call your advertiser just yet, because you still have more work to do before you're ready to get that far. During the long process of minimizing your unique selling proposition into a soundbite headline, you probably wrote down a lot of other thoughts and notes. But don't throw those away. You know, that piece of paper I told you to start writing on? Don't throw those away, because they will be the new seed material for your website. The USP you wrote is going to be your headline, and it's going to draw people in, but once you get them interested, you need to give them something more. Back in the 50s, Rosa Reeves would have expected people to visit your store and look around, but today those people are going to want to look at your website first. Using those notes and seed material you wrote down, you now need to expand upon each as a blog post or a page. Each note could be used and expanded upon to fully describe one aspect of that single service that you are passionate about. The process should eventually lead to at least 2 new pages added to your website, but I'm willing to bet that you get at least 5 pages of content or blogs from it. Don't worry too much about specific keywords as you go through this content building process. That's because you can't write anything about your business without using important keywords that relate to it. Don't think about them, just use them naturally. If you follow this process closely, you will actually be creating a set of pages focused around a single topic that your website will eventually rank for, rather than focusing on the keyword ranking. But let's put aside those thoughts of ranking and get back to the marketing for a moment with the USP. Once you have the content written and added to your website, it's safe to launch the official marketing campaigns. Place the newspaper ad, send out those postcards, record the radio ad, and launch the AdWords campaign. Every one of those ads should lead customers back to those pages on your website that you created. Now, let me be very clear. Those ads should not lead people back to your website's homepage, but rather to the specific description pages of your site that relate to that USP. People who are interested in the USP will want immediately to read more information about it, which is why those website content pages are so important. Let them discover the rest of your website later on their own without you coaxing them to do so. Okay, so I haven't given you any guidance for creating any of those ads, just the USP headline and the support material for the website. No doubt you're going to need to contact an advertising specialist to make the artwork for the ads. As I said earlier, this entire USP discovery process and content creation process was to help you discover and concisely articulate your passion and how customers feel about it. Once you've gone through this process once, you'll need to go through it again and again for every service or product that you want to promote. Marketing should not be a competition between online and offline efforts. It's time to unify your marketing approach and treat your entire online identity as part of your marketing plan. Find out more daily golden nuggets at www.jwag.biz for your daily dose of high-quality online marketing tips written out just like this one. And they're specific for the jewelry industry. You can follow me, Matthew Perosi, on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. Just search for my name, Matthew Perosi. That's it for today's Daily Golden Nugget video edition. See you next time.